Hello, Glen Forest family. Welcome back. I hope you guys are doing well. Everyone's staying nice and healthy and keeping active and making sure that you're growing your brains. We have some interesting things that we're going to try to do today. I'm starting to use some different technologies, and we're going to see how this works with recording on the phone, but using the iPad as a visual. So we're going to see how things go. Today we're going to do a little bit of work with our notation. So we're going to be talking a lot about the different notations that we use in music class and how things are a little bit different. There we go, as it changes. So real quick, just going over, we have our quarter notes. They're worth one beat. And also you can see over here on this side, I also drew the quarter rest. Those are the ones that are silent. When we see here, we have 2/8 notes, or what we a lot of times call tatti for our older students, or for our younger students, we say apple. This is our pear. And then right down here, we have our half note. That's worth 2 beats, so we hold it longer. That's a big ta. And we also have our half rest. Looks a little bit like a hat. Okay, my music teacher way long time ago, Mrs. Beresford, she always taught me that with this one, it's upside down, so it's 2, so it's not as heavy. But this one, somebody put stuff inside the hat, so it turns it upside down and makes it heavier. So that's worth 4. That's our whole rest. And this is our whole note here. That's worth 4 beats as well. All right? So as we go through some of these rhythms today, we're going to kind of take a look and see some different things. Now, for you teachers and parents that are watching as well, if you like to use this rhythm up here, it says ta, 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 ti, ta, or pear, pear, apple, pear. We hear this an awful lot when teachers are trying to get people's or the students' attention. They hear this, and they'll clap that rhythm. But a lot of teachers don't realize is that this is the basic rhythm that students hear all the time, and that there's a couple extra ones here that can really get the students into listening and making sure that they're paying attention to everything you're doing, not just hearing that one clap and then kind of going back to what they're doing before, like either having conversations or working on their math or, finishing up playing on the playground, whatever it might be. So taking a look up here, we have ta, ta, ta-ti, ta, or pear, pear, apple, pear, with our fruit salad rhythms for my younger students. We have apple, apple, pear. And notice for this one, we always do that silent nod. So be aware of that and keep that nice and silent. Don't say rest, because that makes us making noise. And rests are just as important music as the notes that we play for or we sing for. Here, this one always gets my younger students. Ta, ta, ti, ta, ti, ta, or pear, apple, apple, pear. And then our final one here, we've got 2 quarter rests right in the middle. This one really makes them listen. So make sure they're ready for all 4 beats. Ta, ti, ta, or apple, pear. That one's going to really make them listen and make sure that they're ready to hear every instruction. Now, for my older students, we started talking about this a little bit and going over these different ideas because some of you were saying, why are we doing fractions in music class? And I said, because fractions and math are part of music. So we have up here, I have 2/8 notes drawn here, or tati, or apple for you younger students who are still watching and following along, okay? That's worth 1 beat. But if we cut it in half, we've got that little flag that hangs down there on the side. Okay, one of them by itself, if we cut one in half, if we called it like a pizza, and we cut that pizza down in right down the middle, it would be a half. And that's 1/2 right over here. Okay, if we look at watermelon, or our 16th notes here, takatiki, they're worth 1 beat, all 4 of them together. But if we split 1 into 4 sections, they're worth 1/4 or 1/4. There's the 2 flags there. Sorry, the bamboo pen doesn't work necessarily super well. So with that drawing, it looks a little sloppy. So just be aware that these fractions split everything together. Now what we can do is we can take music and we can start splitting it up into little tiny sections and making some more complicated and exciting rhythms. Some of those things that you guys like to hear in rock and roll and hip hop and R&B and so on and so forth, they're in here. Now if you look at this, that might look a little crazy to some of you, but that's still worth 1 beat. The 8th note at the beginning here, that's worth 1/2. And then the second part where we have 2 16th notes, that's a quarter and a quarter. 2 quarters together, well, if we were doing money, it'd be 50 cents. But in this, it's 2/4. Okay, so I'll just write that in there, 2/4. And if we reduce to the least common denominator, that equals 1/2. We divide the top by 2 and the bottom by 2. That would be 1/2. So we have a half plus a half, which equals a whole. So that's how that ends up putting those fractions together into music. And it also creates some beautiful, beautiful rhythms. Now, pardon my sloppiness here. I'm still getting used to the bamboo pen, but we have takatiki, or watermelon, our 16th notes here. Here, we have pineapple, or ta-tiki, okay? And right here we have cantaloupe, or takati, okay? So each one of those rhythms gives us something a little bit more exciting to kind of go along with. So takatiki, ta-tiki, takati. So you kind of have to watch to see which one is where, okay? It gets a little confusing. Hold on, buddy. I know, and I'm super excited about that, but let me finish this lesson up real quick. They're playing Minecraft, and they're very excited. So we have watermelon, watermelon, apple, pear, or takatiki, takatiki, ta-ti-ta. If we were listening to that and feeling that, takatiki, takatiki, ta-ti-ta. Each sound that our mouth makes is one tap on your lap or one clap, okay? Going down further, we have ta-tiki, ta-tiki, ta-ti-ta, or cantaloupe, pineapple, pineapple, apple, pear. Sorry, I'm reading them backwards, so it's all a little bit confusing for me when I'm looking at it. It reads the exact opposite. So here we have cantaloupe, pear, or takati, ta, takati, ta. And then down here at the bottom, I decided I was going to mix everything all together. We have arrest, takati, ta, tiki, ta. Okay? Takati, ta, tiki, ta. Or, in our fruits, cantaloupe, pineapple, pear. So, all of those all together, that can be pretty confusing all together, but we'll do a couple other lessons where we start putting some of these together, and we'll just do it one at a time. So when you watch this lesson, just know that there's going to be another lesson where we start reading some of these rhythms together, and we're not going to do it just in 4/4 time, or the common time. We're also going to do it in different times, like 3/4 and maybe some 6/8. We'll make it really, really interesting. So just be aware that in music, when we talk about the time signature, that's at the beginning of a song, or sometimes later on in songs, where we see 2 numbers stacked on top of each other. Now in fractions, you'll see that there's a line between it. But in music, we don't do that. It's not a fraction. It's telling us 2 important things. Number 1, the top number is telling us how many beats are going to be in each measure. That's the one you need to pay attention to. So if it's 3/4, that means that we have 3 beats in every measure. And the bottom number is going to tell you what what note is going to get the beat. Okay? And that 4, the one that we see the most, 4 means quarter notes, which means in 3/4, we're always going to see 3 quarter notes, or basically the value of 3 quarter notes in each measure. And 4/4, or what we refer to as common time, okay, you're going to see 4 quarter notes in each measure. Okay, so between those 2 time signatures, that's going to be a lot of what we're going to end up reading through our rhythms on, but we'll try some more complicated things. Okay, I'll see you guys later. I hope everyone's hanging in there, and have a great day.